So here we are with episode 12 of The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. In the previous episode, Komura got dad zoned and I'm just over here like, cool. But I appreciate the people who commented in the last episode, giving me some sort of explanations on perhaps why Komura is acting the way that he is, and if I remember it, I'll discuss it a little bit more after we get to this episode. Or after this episode. Anyways, English! If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access to non-seasonals on my channel memberships. But other than that, let us get started. We didn't get to see the coach wait, no, we did. I forgot. we did. It wasn't as big. I want to be an esports player. Well, that's a start. It's a secret. Well, you'll find a dream eventually. Young Mie in a swimsuit. He saw something he shouldn't have. When she said her dream was to be her dad's bride, and all I'm thinking about is like, yeah, that's some Freudian shit right there. I really need to freshen up on my psychology again. Especially like learning about like newer psychology stuff that I haven't learned since like 10 years ago or whatever. But it's so funny that like there's so many like studies of psychology, you know, like there's Carl Jung's psychology as well, but for some reason none of those ever stuck to me as much as Freudian, just because Freud is he's such a sick pervert. He's a wacko, but like maybe that's just why I kind of like his way of psychology. Like it always directs back to like sex and like weirdly incest stuff for some reason. But like it kind of makes sense when you apply it, but you know, some Freudian stuff. Whew. But he's also the one who figured out like, not figured out, he's the one who made the theory of like the id and the super ego and the ego and everything. Anyways. Oh. Huh? How old are you, huh? Oh, shit! Or you technically already did. I mean, yeah, you were literally a kid. You're still a kid now. It's a secret. Oh. Well, it's... Dreams don't have to be big, you know? You can have many small dreams. Training? Oh, cooking, okay. You know, I haven't made omurice in a very long time. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, shit. The flapjack octopus? Isn't it the flapjack octopus, or...? God, look at this realistic jacket. He's wearing an octopus shirt. Office worker. The very Japanese dream, huh? Wow, this boy was just a machine. He was just a robot. Ooh, omurice. Is that a star? What? A kaide. Oh! Oh! Is it a hand? Oh, she... What do you mean, you think? You're right. Hmm. Hmm. You gonna be a husband and not write her name in there? Ooh. Dude, when Komura was still saying like, oh, it's just a dream, right? All I could think of was freaking One Piece live action. It's one thing to have a dream, it's another to pursue it. Oh my god! It's Azuma! Meanwhile, Hibuchi over-worrying. I mean, she can give you one. You can ask her for it. I mean, he's not gonna do it. I'm just... If it's a fragrance, he can't turn it off. Like an arcade token. Oh. Azuma knows what's up. Fucking got her! Dude, they're all literally just like, yeah, we know that y'all crushing on each other. They're just... Yeah. She's over like, hey, you're the one who told me not to do it, now you're telling me to do it? Goddamn, Azuma. Yeah, oh shit. Can't tell whether Azuma means that in like 2 different ways. Oh, he did say he's got a... Good! She better not! No! Stop! She's in college, Azuma! She better not fucking... Alright, I will call the fucking police. Yeah, how dare she compliments this hot guy? Kind of, yeah. She wanted to give you cookies. Yeah, man's out. Boy's out here fucking running. That cough, though. Oh, I'm starting to feel lightheaded. No. Wow, dude. Tokens. Yeah, but these are like friendship cookies, right? Well, if he was hungry, sweets shouldn't be Sorry to ruin the moment. No. Just a straight cut of the music, and then they're just fading back in. Because it's a memory, come on now. Well, that's a job as a parent, isn't it? Oh no. Oh no, this fool. This poor lad. He brought an embarrassing picture of him. Yasuko found it. Uh-oh. Come on now, Komura. You do not aim for the picture. You aim for his arm. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, fucking, yeah. Oh, gotta look at it closely. Yasuko's just over like, here you go. Here, Mie, here's the deed. Gotta fluff it up. Yeah, he did dye it. You can do it. Oh, she kissed the picture. I wonder why. Ah, don't worry, they've already gotten the wrong idea. Oh, I'm trying to spend more time with him. And also taking him to the bar. Oh, she also wants to see in HD. No. Yeah, can't be. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I'm not as agile as I used to be. She wants to see the photo in high dev. Everyone else. Everybody in the school, apparently. Oh? Don't worry, I'll reenact it for you. Ah, I fell on my face. I've got a nosebleed now. A back hip flip. Oh, the pressure! He couldn't do it before, but now Mie's watching. Meanwhile, God's over here with the hand. Don't worry, I've got you, Komura. Oh, shit! She's got it on video? Ooh. She doesn't need to look at the picture now. She's got her own. Oh, shit! She's taking a selfie! Yeah, and you guys can have it on as your homepage. your lock screen, you know? Oh, you know, it's a long con. She's just fucking with you. Oh. Let's do it! Propellers. Oh, watch out for her skirt. Oh, she's wearing shorts, that's fine. Yes. So yeah, she did get to see the picture after all. Boy's nose bleeding about shorts. Well, technically it's the idea of what's underneath the skirt, right? I should not be drinking the coffee anymore because I'm feeling so lightheaded. So, this episode's pretty much the same-ish of, like, the last episode. You know, it's just, well, not same, well, it's the continuation of, like, what's going on with, like, the last episode, right? Alright, that is, it's a whole new pair of glasses that we're seeing in the preview, but I am going to go back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 12 of The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty alright episode. As I mentioned a little bit, it's for the most part just a continuation with this confidence issue that he's had, and then this issue that he's had that he doesn't really I guess in terms of the way that he talks about when we're here in the beginning with the personal planning survey, and he's thinking about like, oh, what is my dream, right? And also I gotta talk it over with my mom about my dreams and the future and everything. So then he, hold on if I can find it somewhere. Let's see, he's right here. So, like, he kind of has this moment where he says, oh, I can't really remember anything from my childhood, from my elementary days, because I had no sense of self-awareness before I met Mie. Which, you know, I'm just kind of like, alright, maybe there are some kids who are like that, and that's totally fine, I guess. I don't know, I've never really met kids who are just on autopilot for the most part, but you know, I would assume that there will be people, even kids, who are just on autopilot, have no ambition when they're kids and such. Well, you know, dreams, but you know, ambitions. I feel like dreams turns into ambition as you grow up if you don't lose that dreams, but. Yeah, for the most part, right, in terms of, like, the autopilot stuff, I kind of get, because, like, that's how I feel sometimes, too, but, I just can't really wrap it around my mind on how, that is for, like, a kid, unless you're living in, like, you know, a more bad household, right, but Komura is living in a good household, that being said, right, just because you are living in a good household doesn't mean that you'll end up being a good kid, or you'll end up, you know, being a healthy child with good mental health and whatever. And so, from what people were talking about in the last episode, in terms of trying to explain the way that Komura is that he is very unlike other children, and that he see, okay, like I appreciate the explanations, but my issue with it in that, as I started thinking more about it, is that I don't want to have people that's not from the anime, right? People in the comments having to explain that to me. I want that in the anime. And somebody else had also made a comment about how previously Komura had said that overconfidence is the enemy. And so because of that, that's why the whole idea of him getting dad zone in the last episode hits him. And perhaps he kind of feels the idea of, oh fuck, you know, I shouldn't be that confident about, especially when it comes to Mie, right? I'm fine with only liking her. But now I'm just like, we had that whole thing with Valentine's Day, and he's like, oh, next year I want Mie to not give me friendship cookies. And I was just like, all right, buddy, you've got that, you've got that goal now, but now he's just on this level where okay, so like with the way that how the anime was going, right? He's in his first years, freaking out, whatever. Valentine's Day comes, and he's like, next Valentine's Day, I don't want her to give me friendship cookies anymore. And then it started veering towards Mie a little bit, because as I mentioned, it felt like Komura was at that level where he was already, he can't really continue until Mie starts until Mie starts to get on his level, and you know, right now she's kind of surpassing him. But we started following Mie a little bit, but then we started going back to Komura, and Komura is now having this having this issue where he overconfidence, and he's not like other kids, and so I went off I got lost in the sauce there. But as I was mentioning, like, I appreciate the explanation, but I don't like that somebody has to explain that to me. Now, if you were able to use the context, like another commenter talking about how Komura was previously had talked about that overconfidence is the enemy. It's, which I still have like just a slight issue on that, just because I just want to be able to have, with what I was talking about in the last episode, right? I want to be able to have some sort of source. Whether you show me that whether you show me that he has seen that overconfidence fuck people over before not even before, but just I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but I think it also stems from it's a me problem where I like certain things to be in a certain way, right? I like my story structures in different ways, and one of the things that I always like is to be able to rely on a source on why they feel the way that they feel, and right now Komura still hasn't really given me that, but here in this scene, right, with him saying that, oh, I've really had no self-awareness when I was a kid, or I had really no self-awareness until I met Mie. So I don't really remember all that much about my elementary days, which goes back to like why there potentially is that lack of source. And I don't I don't know, it also doesn't help that like I'm feeling very lightheaded right now. I haven't had anything to eat. I've only had coffee and water, so my brain is just all scrambled eggs right now. That being said, this isn't particularly the anime's fault for the way that I feel currently. It is just adapting the manga, and the way that the manga was is that they were very short chapters, and it was very, you know, slice of life and stuff, just things happening, kind of like what we saw in the first half, where it's just a bunch of segments that don't particularly connect with each other too much. And eventually the mangaka started forming a story later on, and you know, there's a lot of mangas, especially when it comes to like the first volume or whatever. That's usually how it is, where they kind of build the foundation and everything, and they try to figure out what they want to do as they are trying to create chapters after chapters to get more readers so then they continue to create these chapters. So usually I give I usually give a lot of leeways for first volumes or two. Right, because that's usually just the mangaka trying to figure out what the hell they're doing. If they haven't already figured out what the hell they're doing. It's kind of like with Miyaruko-chan, right? In like the first volume or two, it's just showing us her ability to see ghosts and all these wacky situations that she gets to go through. But then as we go, as like the volumes continue, we start having more set plot lines as the mangaka starts to figure out what they want to create in Miyaruko-chan and how the storyline goes, right? And now we're starting to have long arcs and everything, and so that's a similar thing that is going on. I mean, I just said it, kind of, it's a similar thing that goes on with a lot of mangas that starts off. So here in this case, we have the mangaka who's just drawing stuff, and then now they're trying to form the storyline. But the issue is that for me anyways, right? It all comes back to a me problem. The issue is just that because the first half is just them doing stuff and kind of just it's just, you know, it's for the most part it's just that, which is I will say I can barely remember what has happened in the past in the first half, just because I feel like everything has just blended in together, and like there's just a lot of stuff happening but not a lot of progress, right? There's still like progress that goes on from time to time, but it was just a lot of various scenarios, and so I currently can't remember too much of what the hell has happened in the first half. And so it kind of feels like if there were some sort of build-ups that was that was happening in the first half for us to see here now in the second half, kind of feels like it got lost in the sauce. And also doesn't help that a lot of viewers are very annoyed with these types of characters, and so it makes it very difficult for them to sympathize with him or to even care about what the hell he's going through. And so just to reiterate what I'm trying to And, you know, and if I can't figure out my words, I would just write it in the description down below where I look, I write better than I talk. That's what you'll notice from me. I write better than I talk. And so if you, and especially if you feel like I'm forgetting something, I probably have noticed it and I've written it in the description. So unless somebody can give me context clues to, or like the build-ups that they've been building up to these episodes from like the first half or something, if somebody could give me that, I would appreciate it, because again, I literally cannot remember the first half of this. Feels like it's been so long, but it's also just because again, it's all just chunks and segments. Okay, my brain started thinking about Mie, and now I'm trying to figure out why for someone like Mie, it's a whole lot easier to understand her perspective than it is to understand Komura. So now I'm trying to figure out that one, because Mie gets the same treatment as well, where where we don't particularly see a source of her insecurity in terms of like when it comes to her itself in elementary, but I felt like the build-up for Mie works because it's kind of, well, she doesn't need a source because she actually has had a good build-up to the point where when she showcases us her insecurity, I was like, oh yeah, that's understandable, because throughout the whole series, it's her forgetting her glasses and having to rely on Komura for help, right? And so we've had all that build up, and that's why when she releases her insecurity about how she feels useless, how she feels helpless, especially when she doesn't have her glasses around and she feels like she's a burden to Komura, it's understandable because she has had that build up, and Komura, throughout the whole thing, we kind of just see him, we just kind of see him helping out Mie, and then was it in the comments that somebody said that he's like overly selfless and that he's willing to put other people over himself? And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, but I kind of wish that they showcased that with him for other people, because Mie has the issue with him and Mie, it has an issue of, oh, he's only helping her because he likes her, right? And that's why he does it. But if you were to showcase that he's out here helping other people, right, and even when it's inconvenience to him, right, if he's overly selfless and he does that, then that makes a lot more sense, because he's doing that outside of Mie, and so we could have the idea of, oh, so maybe he's also helping Mie, not only because he has a crush on her, but because he is overly selfless. But I just don't feel like we've had that build-up. So, like, it's... Alright, I'm going back to, like, the whole source thing, right? At some point, it doesn't really matter if he doesn't have a source, as long as he has a good build-up, and that's kind of how it is for Mie. But, again, it could just be a me problem for not understanding his character. Maybe it's a me problem. Maybe maybe it's just, there's just been a bit of a lack of a build-up. And when I say build-up, I don't particularly mean like the build-up from like, oh, the episode before, right? And then it comes in now, and like they build the last episode, and now here it is in this episode, right? I don't particularly like that, just because that kind of feels pretty because like but that stems from the me problem, where I like to have build-ups that continues, or build-ups that, you know, started from the beginning and we just haven't realized it. And again, that's why I thought that the whole thing with Mie works a lot better than it does for Komura. But I hope that makes sense. I rambled about this part for a little bit too long. I hope I don't see anybody writing a whole essay in my comments, but yeah. I say that, it's just so funny, because I'm just like, oh, I like talking to you guys, and then people start writing me long paragraphs, and I'm just like, oh, I have to read all of this. But I still appreciate it. I really like that people write long paragraphs, and I love it when you format it correctly and give me like an easier reading experience, right? It's not the issue of like I don't like people writing long paragraphs, albeit it's really more of just like sometimes I just want to do quick answers, or I want to do quick response, or I want to have a quick read and then reply. Long comments I kind of just like set aside for a bit because like I don't have time for it right now, and then when I do have time I sit down and I go through the comments. But I do appreciate the people who format their stuff, right? Actually putting them in paragraphs and everything makes the reading experience a lot better and makes me actually want to read it compared to someone who just typed like one paragraph and it's just like a whole fucking wall of text and I'm just like, ugh. which is kind of funny because I tend to, if I see somebody write like a whole fucking wall of text, I kind of just copy and paste their comment and then I paste it into a notepad and then I have to format it myself just so I can read it easier. Anyways, this is just me complaining to complain. It's my favorite pastime. But alright. Let's continue with this whole thing. Now that I'm done rambling about this for the most part, we continue to have this this Freudian stuff, right? With her saying that she wants to be her dad's bride, but of course, as she's grown up, she's in middle school. But you know, now that she's not in elementary anymore, she realizes that she doesn't want to actually marry her dad. She just wants to. Freudian, she just wants to get married to someone who's like her dad. Mia's over here like, yeah, I do still want to get married and be a bride, but like, not to my dad. And then the next thing in Komura's head is, well, you know, previously she says that I'm like her dad. And I'm like, come on now, Komura. One of those cogs in your brain, it's not working. But if you understood Freudian psychology, which you won't freaking learn about in middle school, so it's understandable that you don't know about it. But if you did, you'd be able to be like, whoa, she wants to marry her dad? She says that I'm like her dad? Oh my god, the wheel starts turning. But, you know, I'm not flacking him for that. He's in middle school. How the fuck would he know, right? And I don't even know if Japan teaches psychology, consider that the idea of mental health is not really big for the most part. We do have this part again where as Komura is like, oh man, I have no dreams. I can't tell Mie that I have no dreams. I don't want her to know that I'm just a machine. I'm just working to work. And where we saw later on as he looks at his memory books and he sees that in what he puts in his dream is that he wanted to be an office worker. God, dude, the good old Japanese dream to become an office worker and hopefully not work in a black company. But he felt a sense of relief here in this scene where as he asks like, well, what's your dream now? Right? And Mia is like, well, I don't know what my dream is. It's definitely not to marry my dad anymore, but but I still don't know. So he's just like, oh, Mia's just like me. To which, you're in middle school. You don't have to have everything figured out. In fact, even as an adult, you're still probably not gonna figure out what the fuck you're doing. Some people don't even start their lives, their true lives or whatever, until they're like in their 30s or 40s or whatever. Oh, and I remember when I was a kid and I thought, man, people in their 30s and 40s are so old. They should just be retired by now. But then as I grow up, I'm just kind of like, you know, being middle-aged is probably not that bad. Especially, you know, as I said, a lot of people in their 30s and 40s really start to find themselves during that time. And that's when they really, truly begin to live. And I'm definitely not saying that because hopefully I too become like those people. But we saw Mie's cooking, and at first, you know, I was like, maybe it's a flapjack octopus, just because it focuses on that, and well, I mean, I say it, but it's Komura who's focusing on it, I would assume. But he sees that, and he's like, oh, is that a hand? But it's actually a maple leaf, which is in the same as his name, and I thought, very nice, right? She's outward, she just showcases to him that, oh yeah, she was thinking of him when she made this omurice. Oh shit! I don't know if I said this during the YouTube cut, but man, they're showcasing a lot more of the teeth, and I'm starting to notice a little bit more. It's kind of it's still wild just looking at like just this teeth and in a fucking void that is their mouth. It's just a little odd. I don't know. It's just a little odd. It just feels like the teeth is just dislocated. I don't know if you can dislocate teeth. Just looks like they have teeth and no gums, right? Just because their mouth is just an infinite void. This man, wait, hold on. I just realized did he say this is his preschool album? And in his preschool, he's like, I want to be an office worker. Fantastic, dude. And so right here, he does what Mie was doing, and his mom comes, and Crunchyroll is fucking up on me again. Fun. But yeah, his mom sees that and she's just like, oh, it's a maple leaf, right? It's a kaide. Very fun. And then and then we have him going through that typical thing again where he steers back as the moment he starts thinking, oh, maybe it's about me. Oh, no. That can't be. That's incorrect. And I suppose through going back to that whole fucking rant that I was talking about, I suppose that could be in its way a build-up to the way that he's been thinking. It's right, it could attribute to his insecurity, but why does it not work as well as Mie's? For me anyways, it's a me problem, right? Or is it not a me problem? Again, it kind of goes back to people get very tired of these types of characters because they've been seeing them so much. And it kind of just makes me think back on Bokuyama, right? The dangers in my heart. And because our character is, in a way, similar to other types of rom-com characters, and he, in his own way, is a little similar to Komura in the way that he kind of picks up on the hints, but then he rewinds and he backs up, right? And he doesn't want to. I mean, I feel like I already explained why I think it works a little bit better for Ichikawa, just because they show us a source. They show us a source, and they continue to build up on Ichikawa because he continues to think about how Yamada is going on this long con with him. Right, and that's why he continues to pull himself back. And then once you finally see the source on why he's the way that he is, it's like, oh, that's understandable. All right, I'm going back to the whole source and build-up shit now. I need to stop. I need to stop. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I will say this whole part in the cooking class, as we finally get to see Azuma again. What a fucking lad. Albeit I don't appreciate that he's out here trying to hit on a college student. And as I said, I hope that college student is going to be like, no, stop. Don't talk to me. That's the only thing that I hope for. Or else I'm gonna have to call the police on these two. But we've got Mie talking to Azuma again, and we've got Komura who's just over here, black flames and everything, and he's just super pissed. Super anxious. Not super pissed, but he's super anxious about the fact that Azuma is such a hot guy and he's out here laying the moves on Mie and whatever. But I love this entire scene just because it just showcased that the entire friend group knows that they're crushing on each other, and they especially knows that Mie is crushing on Komura, and they're doing their best. Everybody in the friend group is just a wingman and wingwoman at this point. They're all trying to fucking help her. and like with Azuma, who's just like, yeah, you know, maybe you should, you're just trying to make coins? Well, this is how a coin look like, right? So draw your lines. And I love here where Komura is just shivering and he's just, I can't believe she's having so much fun, but it's not with me though. Ooh, that makes me upset. And Hibushi's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Somaya's like, he gets like this. It's alright, because Somaya knows that he's crushing on Mie. So she's just like, yeah, he's just being a little jealous right now. It's alright. And I love Yasuka just coming in, talking about like the tokens and stuff. Like, oh, well, you know, Komura might not like the tokens and stuff. He's had this bad issue with the coin operator. But then he just backtracks and he's just like, oh, don't worry, you can still make the coins. He's not that upset over it anymore. Yasuka just took the time to just talk about Komura, right? To feed Mie more information, which is just very funny. The entire class, they fucking know, and they're fucking tired of these two not progressing in their relationship. They're just trying to help them get them together as much as possible. Kind of like with Komura forgetting his photos and everything, and then Yasuka finds his photo and then he showcases it to Mie, which a little rude. That's all I'm gonna say. But they're kids, so like, you know, it's some things with kids, it's passable, and I think that's totally okay. Oh yeah, there's this whole thing with him walking fast and her being slow, and she has to go catch up to him because he doesn't want to hear her compliment Azuma and all that. But then she goes and says, oh, well, Azuma thinks that I'm slow, even with my glasses. Is that true? And it's funny because he's over here thinking like, oh man, she's over here complimenting Azuma and everything. But then he hears that, oh, Azuma called you slow? Whoa. And he has to reassure her, like, hey, you're actually really easygoing, and that's why you make people around you calm and relaxing. Which I suppose is exactly what Mie says to Komura, right? That you remind me of my dad and I feel calm around you. And so here's Komura, who's saying kind of the similar, well, you know, he's not talking about his mom or anything, but he says the similar thing of people feel at ease around you because you're so easygoing. Very fun, very fun. Back to what I was saying with Yasuka taking this photo and then just freaking, you know, not giving him the photo back and then showing it to Mie. Not cool. Like, it's a picture of someone and like they don't want you to show it, like just give back the fucking picture. But, you know, Yasuka is probably like, I'm sick and tired of you two not doing anything. I'm gonna show this picture to Mie. Just like how he was feeding information to her about Komura being at the arcade. That's it, I'm giving this information over to Mie. But man, the one thing that always bothers me is that every time we have something where like a person is holding something and the other who wants the photo back or whatever, the object back, they're always only aiming for the object, and it's just like, haha, it's up here now, right? It's like that typical, oh, the short kid and like the tall kid having something and they're just holding it up like this, like, haha, you can't get this object. And all I can ever think about is just grab their arm. But the fucking photo or whatever, it's not floating in the air. If it was, then, you know, good luck, but it's attached to their arm. Technically not attached, but, you know, their arm in their hand is holding it. Just grab their arm and just pull it down. Unless, I always thought about that, but then but now I'm starting to think, like, I don't know, I guess maybe it could count as, like, assault or something. But, like, look, I don't know how Japan's justice systems go, but, like, as long as he's just grabbing his arm and he's not, like, hurting him or anything, should be at least a defense of, hey, he had my stuff, I was just trying to get it back. Not to say that they would go to court for this, but, you know. But, you know, as far as, like, typical kid goes, right, kids aren't going to go to court for unless the parents, you know, sue the others, but kids aren't gonna go to court over this for just a fight or whatever. They'll just get in trouble and they just get, like, suspended or whatever. So, you know, when it comes to these stuff, just grab their arms. Just fucking sweep kick them too while you're at it. Alright, that's the violent part, but you know, you can always still just grab their arms. Just like, hey dude, not fucking cool. Anyways, we saw Yasuka giving Mie this photo, but it's funny that despite it being a photo, it's so small that, Komura himself is so small in the picture that she can't, like, look at it. And she ends up giving the photo a kiss instead. A little smooch. Very fun. And overall, I think I just I do enjoy the ending for the most part, with the back hip flip and everything, and him doing it with Mie here. Mie's getting a picture for herself. She sends the picture for him too, of just them taking a selfie together. I enjoy that he's over here like, God, please help me, Kami. And he manages to do it, which, again, it makes me think about God, just like, don't worry, Komura, I'm gonna help you. He's God's hands just helping him, like, move, make the dude a backflip. Also, I do enjoy, like, the selfie part, just because Mie is over here like, oh, this is how tall you're going to be when your fucking growth spurt hits you 100%. This is how height will be eventually. Very fun, and eventually we've got Mie, who's also doing a back hip flip, but she ends up showing her skirt and everything, right? But she's wearing shorts, so that's good, because if she wasn't wearing shorts, that just tiny little nosebleed that Komura has, it was going to be very comical and comically anime, and she just goes, psst. If she hadn't worn shorts. But, dude, what a great day for me. She got pictures that she wants, and she got to see him nosebleed, so she doesn't need to see the pictures anymore. She's got the present right here. She doesn't need the past. But, so say, overall, a nice episode. A pretty alright episode, as I said. I enjoy seeing more of Komura's mom, and by seeing more, I mean, like, hearing her more. We don't actually get to see her face, which is very fun. I enjoy that. Anyways, I don't know what else I wanted to talk about. So please do not send me any comments. Actually do, but don't send me any comments. But do. And if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.